Begin afresh every morning with brushstrokes of God's love. Devotional thoughts for women.
A pleasant good morning, dear friends. Today, December 23rd, our devotion is entitled Beauty in the Desert. Our scripture reading is from Deuteronomy chapter 8, verse 2. And you shall remember the Lord your God led you all the way these 40 years in the wilderness to humble you and test you, to know what is in your heart, whether you would keep his commandments or not. The soldier walks in the desert with a rifle on his shoulder. His footsteps sink in the dry sand, and hot air produces big drops of sweat on his brow, which lazily make their way down until they reach the neck of his thick combat shirt. The day is uncertain, the hours are long, and the training is intense and exhausting. In addition, the enemy is close by. The soldier looks up at the sky and asks God why he allows so much ruin and devastation. When he lowers his head with resignation, his wet eyes find the best life lesson. A small flower beautifully grows toward heaven. It's blooming in the midst of the desert, surrounded by dry sand, without water anywhere. Those flower petals open up to life in a totally barren environment. The soldier's eyes capture the image and remains forever in his retina and his soul, reminding him that there is life in the least expected places, not mere survival, but beautiful, fulfilling, and abundant life. When we cross our own particular desert in life, many times we think God has forgotten us, and we take it as a punishment. Sometimes we think that his hand is an avenging hand, and it's hard for us to realize that he is holding out his loving hand to uphold and encourage us. Living on this planet is like walking through a desert. Problems oppress us. Cries batter our mood. Fatigue weakens our faith and we lose hope. We must first cross this desert in order to get to the promised land. But I want to remind you this morning that we are not crossing it alone. Just as the soldier in the story, a former combatant in Iraq War found life while surrounded by death. So we, in life's desert, can find an oasis, which is God. Are you going through a desert of trials, problems, and afflictions? Seek God. He is there. You will soon see the borders of the promised land, and your sad roaming through this desert will have finished. You'll be at home. And you shall remember that the Lord your God led you all the way these 40 years in the wilderness to humble you and test you, to know what was in your heart, whether you would keep his commandments or not. Deuteronomy 8:2.